Hello, today we are going to talk about annotating, and this is your guide to annotating anything and everything that you read. So, what is annotating? There's a short video that's going to talk to you about annotating and how to annotate a text.
Hey guys, so it has happened. After years of being told by teachers, parents, librarians, and various other authority figures to take care of them, not to bend pages, and especially not to write on them, they changed the rules. They want you to write in your book. In fact, they are requiring you to write in your book. Yep, it's the truth. They throw in a fancy word like annotating, and it's suddenly okay to break one of the biggest literary commandments of all time. So what does this annotating word mean anyway? Annotating is when a reader adds notes or comments to a text. Think of it as having a conversation with your book, although a bit one-sided. So you must be wondering, if the page is already full of words, what on earth are you supposed to write about? Well, there are all kinds of annotations that you can make. You can highlight words that are unknown to you, then look them up and write a brief definition. Just be sure this isn't the only kind of annotation you do. It can look a bit lazy if you're not too careful. You can summarize the gist of what's going on in a difficult passage. This will make you stop and monitor to see if you're really understanding what you're reading. You can write questions that you have as you're reading. You can check back on them to see if they are answered later or just use them to discuss in class. You can comment on the characters. What character traits are you noticing? What do you think of their words or actions? Do they remind you of anyone? You can comment on the author's usage of literary devices. Do you notice a brilliant use of personification? Does a particular metaphor make you understand something better? Is there a pun that is particularly, well, funny? You can add information and facts that relate to the text as well. Is there historical context that you can add? Is there an allusion that you don't recognize but you can look up? Teachers love a good allusion. You can add your own connections to the text. Can you relate to what is happening? Have you been in the character's shoes before? Lastly, is there just something that intrigues you, surprises you, annoys you, gives you the willies? Do you just have something to say about what you are reading? Well, that's really all there is to it. Just read and write away. Use a pencil, pen, highlighter, or a rainbow of highlighters. Just mark up that book. Interact with that book. Make it your friend till the end. Well, the end of the unit anyways. So the next time your teacher says you are going to be annotating a book, don't panic. The library police are not going to stop you and tell you to put down the highlighter. But your teacher will be able to put down an A for you. In his or her grade book, that is.
So, annotating while reading is like breathing. It's a natural occurrence from Fulbeldoropolis. So, here's what annotating is. It's the way that you as the reader interact with a text. Now, as we're going through our note sheet, it's important that you note that the words in blue, like interacts right here, is a word that you will need to fill in on your note sheet. So, going back again, the way the reader interacts with the text. So, you can do this through noting. So, this means a purpose that's established by the teacher. So, maybe I tell you to go through and annotate for character traits or to annotate for the main idea. And this can also be any connections that you have with the text. So, whether it's something that you've read about before, something you know about, any kind of connection that you can make. So you can also do this by commenting and critiquing. So you can agree or disagree with the author. Some articles are heavily biased, and so they lean one way or the other. So you can write down the parts that you agree with or that you disagree with. You can also identify points that are interesting, that are funny, that are important, or anything that really jumps out at you and strikes you as something important to note. And you can also write down questions. Many times when we're reading, we have questions about what we are reading or what the author means or what a word means. So you can mark your confusion or many times you can ask a question in the margin and it's answered later in the text. So it shows that you're active reading throughout. And here it is again. So if you have not filled in your note sheet about what annotating is, please pause the video here and fill in your note sheet. Annotating is not highlighting the entire page of text. It's not just highlighting everything and thinking that that's annotating. That is not what we are looking for. It is also not just using symbols. While symbols are a great way, we can't just write exclamation points or question marks or emojis. We need to add a little bit more to it in order for it to be considered an annotation. So here's what annotating looks like. As you can see, there's lots of comments, lots of interaction with the text. So in this one, we've used different color pens to symbolize the different things that we are connecting to. You'll see up at the top here, here's a vocab word that this person didn't know. So this says, huh, like they're confused. And then they defined it. Diverged means split. So you can see, if you want, you can pause this video and see the different ways that this reader is interacting with the text. Sometimes we can't write directly on the page. So if it's printed or if it's a piece of paper, you can write on it. But sometimes if it's a book and it's not yours or your parents don't want you to, you cannot write right in the text. So in that case, you would want to use Post-it notes like you can see here, and you can write your notes and leave it on the page. You can also see sometimes that there are tabs, and so depending on how you like to annotate, it may be beneficial to get some tabs and just write important notes so that it sticks out of the book rather than in the book. So just to recap, annotate everything and anything that you read in class for English. It is assumed that when we give you something to read, you are annotating it, you are showing your active reading skills. So here are directions. You are done with this video when you have watched the entire video and gotten to this page, and your note sheet is complete. So when you have finished this, please take off your headphones and close your computer to show me that you are finished.